All right, good deal. So this is just going to be a regular episode. It's not going to be the AK corner, but we're going to be talking AKs. So
yeah, sports. Yeah, AKs are guns, obviously.
Right. I already did the AK corner for this month, so but,
yeah, it's all good.
We'll get a double dose of the AK talk, and I know people have been excited to hear about everything that went on this year at Kalash Bash. I wasn't able to make it, unfortunately. So let you guys fill us in, live vicariously through you. And Pearce Taylor, for you guys who haven't met Pearce, he's one of our primo listeners, and he attended the event. I don't know if you guys saw him down there or not.
Yeah, I ran into Klay. I saw everybody else around, but
one of 1,100 people. So it was. I'm sure we passed one another, and but
you couldn't miss him. He had the AK corner shirt on, man.
I remember him now. I saw a couple guys with Talking Lead shirts on.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had some listeners down there. That's what I did the AK corner on. I did a listener show. Had nothing but listeners on the AK corner, and several of them had attended the Kalash Bash. So we talked a little bit about it on the AK corner this past episode. Poor little Pearce was sick though. He couldn't be on with us. He's all better now though.
Pretty much fighting the flu over the last couple of days.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Pearce is an attorney, so watch what you say.
Hey, everybody needs an attorney.
Yeah, what kind of attorney? I mean, it's always good to have one of those on camera.
What kind do you need?
Well, I don't need one yet, but we'll talk later.
So, all right, guys, we are back with another episode of the Talking Lead podcast. We're just going to jump into it. We're talking, and I'm recording, and all this is good stuff. So we might as well run into it and do it. So I promised you guys a while back that we were going to do a Kalash Bash kind of follow up, and I was hoping to be there, but it didn't work out. I wasn't able to make it, but I did get some nice bow hunting in, crossbow hunting. You see my crossbow there. So my time wasn't completely wasted or ill spent. But we've got the organizers of Kalash Bash joining us. And this is just our regular episode, so don't confuse this with the AK Corner, Leadheads. Go back and listen because it's posted this month's AK Corner. You're really going to enjoy it. We had several listeners on, kind of a follow-up to our giveaway that we did with Century Arms, the BFT-47. We gave away BFT-47 on that episode, and I wanted to get all the listeners that participated and just kind of do a little follow-up episode and talk with them and get their ideas on what we could do for Season 5 because we're getting ready to wrap up the Season 4 of the Talking Lead AK Corner. We only got like 2 months left. So make sure you go back, check that episode out. And then the episode before that, I just mentioned I was doing some archery hunting the last couple of weeks. We had the gang from Center Point Archery, Velocity Outdoors, and a gentleman by the name of Benjamin Cole, who has his own hunting TV show. It's called Rooted Television, and it was a really good educational show for me because I just got into the archery, guys. So this is my first season into the archery, and as our listeners know, whenever I get into something new, they get into something new, whether they want to or not. But joining me from Kalash Bash, the organizers, we had them on last year, and I know that you guys really enjoyed that episode. It's one of our more popular of Season 3. But we have the guys from Dissident Arms. We have Mike and Lan joining us. Gentlemen, welcome in.
Hey, thanks for having us again.
And they are in some new digs. So for our video audience who's watching this, they're not on vacation. That's their new digs. That's their new place there, and it looks like they might have something on tap.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have a nice
cold beer.
Nice adult beverage, absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, we moved somewhere where it feels like we're on vacation every day, so we're thankful for that, but also trying to enjoy it. So thanks for having us on, though, again.
Absolutely. And then also joining us, another organizer and creator of the Kalash Bash event. We've got Klay Owens, Klay Co, joining us with Third Pin Threads. Klay, welcome in. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me back. Feels like I was just here not too long ago.
I know, you were just on, weren't you? What was that? Was
Yeah,
that
we
the
went.
last AK
It
corner?
was I think so. We talked for, I think it was like a 4-hour long chat. We talked for a while. It was one of your AK corners.
Yeah, it was like 3 hours. It was
Yeah.
a lot of fun. Oh, that was the contest. You were one of our judges. That's right.
That's right. Yep.
Klay judged our competition, and I had the winner on this month's AK corner. He just got it like yesterday or the day before when we recorded, and he hadn't had an opportunity to take it out and shoot it yet, but he was really excited about it.
Rob would tell you that failing to prepare is preparing to fail. He's not a prepper, but survival skills, personal preparedness, and self-sufficiency are important skill sets in his book. His firearm of choice, the Kel-Tec RDB Survival, says a lot about him. This great compact bullpup rifle fits in a pack and tight spaces when he feels like bugging out. Unlike ordinary bullpups, the RDBS rifle redefines the concept of platform, offering a traditional rifle grip, balance, crisp trigger, and an adjustable buttstock. The RDB Survival delivers 5.56 ballistic performance in a compact package weighing 5 pounds 14 ounces. It has a patented downward ejection that allows for complete ambidextrous use with an intuitive safety and reversible charging handle. It's a get you there, never let you down kind of rifle. Innovation, performance, Kel-Tec.
All right, and then joining us, this is your third time on, I think, Pearce. Lead Head,
Something like that.
attorney down there in Georgia area. It's our good friend Pearce Taylor, known as P-Man 301 on the grams. And we had his father on an awesome episode and talked about his father's an author, and we talked about his books that he has out. Tell me, what is the Angel? What is it?
Stolen Angels is the first
it.
one by
Stolen
William Taylor.
Stolen Angels. It's about human trafficking, and it was a really good book. I've got through 2 of them. I haven't got through the last one yet, but I really enjoy his books. Definitely can see a movie or TV series out of those.
He might be in some discussions right now.
Maybe is that through the Talking Lead podcast? Because no, I'm just kidding.
Some exposure is always good.
Some's better than none, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we want to talk Kalash Bash, and Pearce was there. That's why we have Pearce on again. He actually attended. Jelly Pearce. So let's talk about Kalash Bash, and we did the history and everything last year, but for our new listeners that are joining us, can you guys just kind of fill us in a little bit? Tell us what Kalash Bash Texas is, what it's all about, and how you guys got started.
Well, yeah, Kalash Bash is a unique firearms event that not only includes a competition that that's kind of changed forms over the years into where we are now, but also most uniquely a essentially general admission side to where it gives a ton of exposures to vendors and sponsors and offers what we refer to as non-competitive shooting opportunities, whether it's full auto shoots or shoot house that we offered this year, and some AK 3-gun challenges we offered in the past. But basically, a ton of shooting opportunities and a chance to meet those that you buy product from directly, along with the competition. So
It's kind of like an AK-centric festival, wouldn't you say?
yeah, not quite a AK gun show, but more like an AK convention with the competition going on in the background. So it literally sounds like war. There's so much shooting going on at once. It's the most shooting I've ever been around on a range at once. There's so many hot firing lines. So quite a unique event.
But Clay and them, they actually control it well, and they're able to go cold and have the a cold period for the vendors to have discussions and conversations with attendees and stuff like that. So it really provides a service to the vendors that other places and other events don't can't, or not can't, but they don't offer. I would say, yeah.
Well, I certainly haven't seen anything like what you guys offer. I mean, I know there's a couple that are similar, but the way that you guys have fully immersed the event in encompassing not only the competitive shooter, and I've heard those stages are some of the toughest, some of the funnest stages in any gun competition. But you also involve spectators. You get them involved with it, which a lot of the the 3-gun AR IDPA things don't really concentrate on people that are coming, the spectators, and you make it like I said, very immersive for them, and they can take part and they win prizes too. They're eligible to win the prizes. So it's really cool what you guys have done, the whole concept, and you just you've bumped it up to a whole nother level to really attract people maybe that were thinking about maybe getting into the firearms or the AK even platform, and just really put it over the top where they just have to. He's like, there's no reason why they shouldn't come to this event.
Yeah, I think one thing that really helped us out in the past is not only obviously Dissident is really great at what they do. They put on amazing matches, and back before we had met, we were just I was just doing entertainment stuff with AKs, doing the Instagram and YouTube thing, and people seemed to like it. So when our worlds kind of collided, I think the secret sauce there that really made Kalash Bash special is not only did we have backgrounds in what makes an event, the match that we wanted, and bringing all the people together that we wanted. All of us are big time AK guys. We understand the culture. We collect. Like, if I could ever get Mike to take me in the safe and just show me some of the stuff he's been hoarding, I know they've got some cool stuff. The fact that we're involved in the AK culture all year long, and then we just happen to do Kalash Bash, a weekend out of the year, I think it really helps. So we understand all the people that show up to this thing, every avenue of person, whether you're the collector, the competitor, a very casual first timer that maybe you just bought an AK, or you've had one in the closet that you decided to dust off for one weekend and you haven't touched it in 10 years. We understand every single person that's kind of either all the way in the rabbit hole or just peeking over the edge. So because we're so heavily involved in that culture, I think it really comes through when we throw this event together. We do make it super immersive. We're very selective with the vendors that we bring out, because there has to be something that either carries over to the AK market or has to be laser focused to the AK market, because we want the people to come out to be around the vendors that they probably wouldn't see at the SHOT shows, the NRAs very much. A lot of AK vendors don't get a lot of love at big events. They kind of get stepped over. People will trip over an AK booth to run over to see the new AR-15 hotness. That's typically what happens.
Yeah.
So when you collect all these people that are in the AK market in one place, and you sell nothing but tickets to AK people that we fully understand, everyone is there. They get exactly what they're looking for, and the vendors have the best possible customer they could have in front of them for 3 friggin' days. And we let them camp and party at night. So there's a little extra sauce at the end.
And you let them dress up. It's like cosplay.
We absolutely encourage it.
It's like a Comic Con, but with AKs.
But isn't everybody that puts on some kind of jersey, whether they're a bass fisherman or a cyclist or whatever, isn't everybody in some kind of cosplay? I mean, yeah. And so these guys, the AK community, as far as in the firearms industry, is obviously a smaller section of it. But as Klay was saying, if you get all these guys together, there's some major purchasing power. And as you guys already know, that the AK, has been going through, a lot of changes in the United States from import based.
It's a renaissance period for the AK.
Yeah, U.S. offerings and all the custom stuff now.
I mean, we talked about that a couple of years ago, and how it was a renaissance, or it is, and it was beginning, and so the AR market saturated. Every handguard, you had key mod,
grip, butt stock,
it's the AK's turn, right? And so, and then now with the importation stuff, with the Russian stuff, then that brought a lot of American, manufacturers online.
There's a ton of American dollars being pumped into the AK platform, and then the like Klay was saying, the uniqueness of this event is we have is keeping it Kalash based. We have many imposters that were asking to shoot other firearms at the event, and so we if it doesn't take an AK action, we don't allow it. There is a con block division where we can draw some definite parallels to that style and period of firearm. But we are keeping it Kalash based, and I think that everybody appreciates that. Everybody needs to come out and race their AKs as fast as they can, all the way to the guy that's just shooting his first competition. That's one of the things that we really try to take a balance with in the stage designs, in particular this year. And then, with the size of Kalash Bash growing from 300, 400 people the first year, all the way to well over 1,000, well over 1,100 people this year.
Wow.
It's just proof that there are dollars there, and there are those that want to attend and be part of what we're doing.
Well, the interest, the interest is definitely there. And was this number 5? This is your 5th year?
4.
Okay, this is the 4th year. So in 4 years, you've quadrupled the attendance, and it's only going to keep getting larger and larger. Now, with that in mind, where you guys are hosting this, do you have the capacity to maybe even double that for next year?
I don't know if we want it to get that big, honestly.
Well, too bad. It's going to get that big.
The size it is good right now, I think. We can add, maybe a few here or there, but I think what we have going is about the right size, and to put on a quality event for the vendors too. It's not about just packing the people in there, because there comes a point where there's a little return. You're just putting more work out there.
What about doing it twice a year, and I don't know, same location or maybe another location? Has there been talks of that?
Well, we might be working on other stuff.
Yeah,
it's in the mail.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of talk about something else going on in the background.
It's in the mail. That's exactly right.
Well, I was just thinking, if you didn't want a larger crowd, then that would be a way to accommodate maybe the people who can't come during that time of year, because you have it about this time every year, right?
What you're saying makes absolute sense, and that's something we've talked about for a long time, and so some things may be moving in that direction. But in regards to Kalash Bash itself, there's a point at which you may diminish what you do and what it was by just making it larger. If an event doesn't run well, if the experience isn't as good for an attendee or a competition shooter or a vendor, then that light starts dimming. So right now we want to make sure we maintain being the brightest light in the AK event community, so to speak. So,
and I agree with that, because there's some things get too big. SHOT Show, for instance, how out of hand it has gotten. But yeah, I agree with that philosophy that you keep it a certain size that's manageable and enjoyable for everyone.
It keeps it exclusive.
And
we have a certain amount of vendors we can pack in, and we have a certain amount of attendees, and when it fills up, you got to wait until next year, and that really does keep it a little more special, that it is exclusive, and it does sell out every year. The match sells out within a day at this point. It sells out so fast. So only the most dedicated people that really want to shoot the match get in on the match. Yeah. Everyone else, you can come out as a spectator and still do all this fun stuff. However, even those tickets are a limited number, and that number is manageable. It keeps it to where we never really overpromise and underdeliver vendors and attendees and the match. It takes so much work. The last thing we want to do is work that hard and 2,000 people come out and maybe we underdeliver in a couple places and people have a bad experience. That's the last thing any of us want. So I think we're at a really good place now where it's manageable, and we still can get over 1,000 people in here, and that still keeps it exclusive. Vendors are busy nonstop. The match is full, and everyone's happy.
Yeah. And I guess with the, as far as the
where
competitor
it is,
size,
you can maintain that culture too.
Yes.
yeah. With the competitor, I mean, there's probably only so many competitors that you can in order to get them through in time to run those stages and whatnot too.
As far as competition, that's the matrix they call it, by which you assign shooters where they shoot and what days they shoot. There's a math thing, that you hit to where if you have too many people in a particular squad, things move slowly. If they get behind, it's impossible to catch up because then you got to start cutting corners. And so it's really important to, in particular on the competition, is to maintain a very manageable size. That way that everybody's able to enjoy what they're doing, and then you don't just make your stages shorter and less involved. But as far as we're not saying that there can't be any improvements on what we're currently offering. This year we offered the AK Shoot House, which was sponsored by one of our longtime sponsors, IWI.
Also a sponsor of the Talking Lead AK Corner.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, they're amazing. Jeremy Gresham's, highly involved over there at IWI, and is shows up at events like this, which we appreciate. And this year we had 204 shooters shoot the AK Shoot House, guns and ammunition provided with the ticket, and these were mostly general admission, Kalash attendees essentially that would squad up. Not to shoot the competition, but just shoot the shoot house with guns and ammunition provided. So that was quite a unique experience, and we think we can actually expand on that next year to offer quite a few more slots and maybe even offer some night shooting and something like that. So.
Let's talk about the shoot house, since that is a new addition. I know a lot of our listeners that have been in the past that weren't able to make it, like myself. I saw you guys posting things about it. Talk about the idea to bring that in and what it is, what you're doing in that shoot house.
Basically, like each year we've tried to figure out something outside of the competition to where we could offer shooting to the general admission, so to speak, where it wasn't just a pure machine gun shoot, which, we all love that ride, or just, a couple of rounds at a particular target, but actually
give them a taste of competition kind
correct. Actually shooting like some type of challenge, but not really competitive feel, so to speak. So nobody feels like they're being scored, so to speak, or whatever. And so last year we did the
judged
3-gun challenge.
Don't judge. They don't feel like they're being judged. Don't judge me.
We get it. For us, when we very first started,
everybody's got to start somewhere.
Yeah, it's really tough to get out in front of people and shoot, especially if you have a target and you're actually seeing where the hits are on the target. And so, anyways, this year, the AK Shoot House, what Lan and I, we built essentially a 4-room shoot house where there was one main room and you cleared 3 rooms and engaged targets in the rooms, avoided no-shoot targets, and shot steel targets through the doors and windows that were out up to like about 90 yards or so. So you had a 30-round magazine, a 5.45, and a 13-inch Galil Gen 2 pistol, Galil H Gen 2 pistol, and you basically, it was 25 minimum rounds. Yeah, there you go. It was 25 minimum rounds, and so basically you had to make sure that you conserve your rounds, in particular on the steel. That way you could complete the course of fire. And then,
fastest time one of the Galil 7 or the 5.45.
Yep. Yeah.
13 inches, and it was a random draw for a
flamethrower for the random draw for anybody that completed the shoot house. So
it was a wild time. It was awesome. Gave people a taste of competition, like Mike was saying, and not that too stressful or too much pressure in that situation.
Right.
I think everybody pretty much liked it. I think it's going to be the addition, or it's going to be the staple, I guess you would say, for the side shoot.
Yep.
And like Mike was saying as well, I think we want to incorporate night vision, thermal, something, and to give it a different flavor.
We saw Surefire out there when we were tearing down this shoot house, so they may want to jump in next year, Clay.
White light too. Yep. There you go.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
I won't get into too much of our brainstorm session we had at the dinner table the other day, but we have some really cool ideas for that shoot house, getting more sponsors involved, and
Oh, yeah.
the night aspect would be cool. My favorite part of the shoot house, I've done shoot houses in the past, but it's always been run in the house, shoot out of the windows. They actually have targets on the wall, and you're blasting through walls with rounds, which was awesome. And I've never seen a shoot house like that. Usually, I've shot other matches that had a house that you shoot out of, but I've never shot one where the rounds are going through your targets, through the walls, and it was pretty legit. I'm still pretty burnt that I couldn't come shoot it. I just couldn't find time. But it was the talk of KB, all these attendees that are so scared of trying competition for the first time. They're so nervous. They don't want to look like they suck in front of people. Well, it was tucked around the corner. No one had to see you if you're really bad at it,
And
but
you're
at least you got to
indoors.
see.
Yeah.
But I think we definitely want to maybe possibly put that thing in a spot where more people can come watch it, because it was such a hit. And it is an easy thing to bring more vendors on to sponsor, to really spice it up. So I was super excited about it when I saw it before everyone went and destroyed it.
I think
It
what
was
would be
such a cool
cool,
addition.
this is just my 2 cents on it, and if you want to get more spectators, I mean, you got to be very careful with a shoot house and the angles and all that, so you can't have a lot of people around it. But if you had it elevated and they could look down on it,
Yeah.
and watch it that way, that would be really cool. Or maybe have a big screen TV set up and you got somebody videoing in there, something like that. But anyway,
Maybe we won't have people in the shoot house next time. This year was kind of, we had we had some warm fleshy targets. Maybe next year we don't. We just have to stick with paper next year.
oh, so the targets that I'm looking at here for our video audience or our listening audience, I've got a video up here of Dissident Arms is this the shoot house that people shot in?
It is. So, a lot of shoot
But
houses,
you didn't use these targets?
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. They're IDPA paper targets. Basically.
Okay.
for
I must have misunderstood what Klay said. I thought he said you had warm, fleshy targets in there.
There it is. No, that was I made a joke on you, Gypsy. It was all paper.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there are cool targets. I can see you guys upgrading your targets and putting those, those fleshy targets in there. That would be cool.
Have a stab house. Everybody just.
Right?
Yeah, more bayonets.
At a bayonet
The
room.
PSA spikers, they had that there.
Yeah.
That's the thing now.
Pierce, did
Very hot right
you shoot this?
I didn't. By the time I got over, I didn't know you had to sign up for it early, I guess. And by the time I got up for it, they told me that it was full up.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They told him no.
And the schedule thing. So for the match, what Mike was saying is, so it's a clock time, right? And so we allocate 5 minutes per shooter to shoot a stage and reset a stage, get back and get everybody ready to go. And then so for the shoot house, there was only so many hours in a day that you can accomplish that. And so we wanted to give everybody a fair shot in figuring out the weapon manipulation if they're not familiar with the firearm, and then actually getting to walk through and figure out how they're going to shoot the stage before they shot it. So there's a couple of things, like Mike was saying, we could probably tighten up for next year.
I mean, we did have 204 people. We ran it Saturday and Sunday only. I could see us, potentially expanding on that, putting in another squad or two. But it was really important to make sure that those that were shooting the shoot house had a chance to use a dry fire gun. So we had a separate gun with a firing pin removed and a blue tape on a magazine where you could dry fire it over to the side during your check-in process. And then by that time, you're familiar with the firearm, because you're basically going to be shooting this on the clock for the first time. We had a Vortex optics generously supplied by another long-term sponsor. We put some Sparks solars on there, checked zero each morning, and they were good to go through the event. And as long as anyone paced themselves, they could easily complete it. But we had a guy that ran it at 21 seconds, ran it clean.
Yeah.
He ended up taking home one of the two Galeals that were used in the shoot house.
But
Oh
I think
my
the
gosh,
takeaway
that's amazing.
from this is that if we announce it earlier and let people know about it earlier, because it was kind of like I don't want to say a last minute thing, but it was we were trying to decide if it was going to be another 3-gun shoot house or if it was going to be a true shoot house. So if we announce it a little bit earlier next time and give y'all a chance to sign up a little bit earlier, I think that's the best takeaway from your feedback. So
Yeah.
I think the shoot house idea was awesome. The carnival was fun last year too, but I would like to see that shoot house again.
Yeah, like Klay was alluding to, I think that's going to come back. It was such, and we have a survey monkey going out, so we're going to have feedback from all the competitors, and we're going to ask for feedback from the general admission as well. And so we take all that feedback to heart because we do want to provide the product that that y'all want.
Yes, surveys going out soon. From us, it'll be to the competition shooters first, and then to general admission after that.
That's right.
That's a good idea. Yeah, a lot of places don't do that. They don't follow up with the questionnaires.
Listen to your customer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've made legitimate changes to Kalash Bash purely based on feedback. I mean, if the people want it, they got it.
Yeah, and that's the best way to do it because they're telling you what they want. So there you go. Didn't get any easier than that, right?
Founded in 2012, IWIUS is the USA-based subsidiary of Israel Weapon Industries Limited of Ramat Hasharon, Israel. The IWIUS line of products includes the Tavor X95, the Uzi Pro pistol and SMG, the Galil Ace line of firearms, and the belt-fed Negev line of light machine guns. IWI's mission is to bring the highest quality firearms with real world-proven reliability to the U.S. commercial and law enforcement market. IWIUS are proud sponsors of the Talking Lead AK Corner and the Lead Head Brigade. Check us out at www.iwi.us and on social media under IWIUS.
So the vendors that you had this year, and I'm fine with you guys plugging your sponsors and your vendors that do it here. Who all attended this year?
Well, we had like almost 40, so there's a lot. I can try to go by memory.
Should I go get my shirt?
Go get your shirt.
The shirt has the gold sponsors
go
on
get
it.
it.
We had everything from gold, silver, and bronze. In fact, if you stand by, I'll pull up my list right now. And then I
No,
don't
that's
have to lie to
fine.
you.
Century was there, another sponsor of
He
the
was there.
Talking Lead AK Corner. IWI.
So we had a title sponsor, but we're going to postpone that. Our gold sponsors, we had JMAC Customs, we had IWI, Vortex Optics, Century Arms, M13 Primary Arms, Dead Air Suppressors, AGM Global, Magpul Palmetto State Armory, Silencer Shop, FM Products, that's Foxtrot Mike, Rearden Manufacturing, and Resilient. Those were all of our top tier gold sponsors. On silver, we had HTX Tactical. That's a local Texas, really famous Houston gun shop. We had John Blasky. He's actually one of the range owners. Made a company just to rent machine guns for Kalash Bash. We had F5. Josh Fralick sponsored the event. Shoot Steel hooked us up with steel targets,
Nice.
Firebird targets, Lee Armory, Texas Weapon Systems. And then finally, we have a huge vendor bazaar, and I'll go through these guys quick. Hub City Outdoors, AKT1 Sport, Atero Arms, K&S Precision, Weapon Genetics, Zastava USA, Goon Tape, AK Collector Source, Stompin' You Customs, Iron Curtain Customs, RS Regulate, KVAR, Dead Air Silencers, again, Bar War USA, Collectors Firearms, also in Houston, MK3 Firearms, AmmoGuide.net, official ammo sponsor of KB now, AC
Sweet.
Defense Co., that was our nonprofit, Krebs Custom, Drive Tanks, Wraith Defense, Blue Force Gear. That's about it.
Drive tanks? Is that like you can drive tanks?
They came out and set up a booth. We've been trying to get them to bring a tank out. For them to bring a tank to a property, it's like $5,000. So this year they just wanted a booth to kind of talk to people and see what Kalash Bash was like. Now that they know that hopefully it's awesome, they'll actually bring some ordnance out next time.
Suggestion: charge for tank rides. People will pay for that.
Yeah.
People will
Tanks
pay
are
for
tricky.
that.
They destroy the property. We have to be really
Well,
careful.
that's
with tanks.
true. Yeah, that is true. It is a beautiful property out there too.
Yeah, there's so many hot firing lines that it's quite a unique event. I mean, not only do you have eight hot stages, a hot shoot house, you know, as you, was it a dozen gold sponsors, whatever it was, that all have access to firing lines, plus the machine gun, the gold sponsor tent, which is even more.
Yeah.
Not to say that things can't be expanded upon, but honestly, that we're literally,
There's a lot of shooting up.
there's a lot of shooting going on all at once, and there's no lack.
But it's a tank.
No.
Yeah, I get it.
It's a tank.
We did have a Humvee with a belt fed 50 cal mounted on top that was riding around the property. That was kind of cool.
That's awesome.
There was that.
Yeah, we've been thinking about potentially offering some more stage-oriented stuff, but it's just got to be really careful on logistics involving those within the match and so forth. But,
shooter equity is a big thing, so we wanna
Sure.
make sure things are right.
But yeah, regarding the sponsors, Lan and I shoot a ton of 3-gun, so you know we love the AK, and we shoot AK shotguns and 3-gun, you know, around the country and you know and even internationally. But Kalash Bash has, you know, one of the deepest sets of sponsors from any event that we've ever been to. We're happy to see it grow, and the vendors themselves, the amount of activity they get at the event, not just exposure for them to use for content and things like that, but actually interaction, sales on site. Things like that is something very unique in this event, and honestly, I think others will try to duplicate it. Some have tried, but it's going to be very difficult to offer what we've been doing. Our team is solid. Each you know part of the team doing their job to the fullest, and in the end, our commitment to excellence. And so we happy that in the 4th year it's only growing, but we also know that maybe there's a cap on the not the experience, cap on the size, but like we had alluded to, you know, there are possibilities of expanding things in the future. So
Yeah, definitely.
You know, there's a vendor I forgot to mention. I'm wearing his glasses, Hunter's Gold.
Yeah.
he wasn't on my spreadsheet.
So
Brian had the time of his life.
so
Dude, Brian was the coolest. I've met Brian only a couple times in person at NRA and once at the PSA AK match. He's legitimately one of the coolest dudes, had one of the coolest boots. Everyone loved him. And
He's super nice.
I don't know how many pairs of glasses that he sold, but he actually made a really good observation because he goes to so many events.
really well. He did really well.
He pulled up on Thursday and he was like, "Where is everybody?" I was like, "It's an RO. There's not very many people there." And he's like, "All right, well, I'll be back."
Yeah.
He came back Friday and it was vendor setup. He was like, "Where is everybody?" I was like, "They'll be here. The vendors are setting up today. There will be people trickling in." And then on Saturday, he was like, "Holy shit, there's so many people here."
He's used to most action shooting events, which do have people there, you know, to watch, but are mainly patronized by competition shooters and staff.
Passing by. Boom, boom.
Yep.
And it's where Kalash Bash has that, of course, but has so many other things going on. And he does like 100 events a year, and I'll have to ask him
Wow.
which event has been the best for him. And I want to say that Kalash Bash probably has to be in the top 3. Has to be.
Has to
Now,
be.
And he does iPro.
Yeah, I've got these right here. So these are regular Ray-Bans.
Hold on, let me switch back to our screen. Here.
These are just a pair of my Ray-Bans that I sent into him.
Mhm.
He put my prescription in it with these Hunter's Gold HD lenses. And for me, my astigmatism is so bad, red dots just bloom as they do for most people. I know Mike and Lan use Hunter's Gold. A lot of people do. They are bad to the bone for competition shooting. Shooting in general, especially people like me that have bad vision, it really sharpens up red dots and iron sights.
So it's
Transitions.
he does prescriptions.
He will do prescriptions. Yes.
Prescription iPro. Nice.
He's got the yellow, the gold lenses, and he also has these ruby ones. And he was telling me, I'm not colorblind, so I can't tell you from experience, but he's telling me that they help with color blindness. So, you know, I guess you can't tell the difference between red and green, and so targets will blend in with the background and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But what he's telling me is like with that ruby coating, it will make the target stand out, which I think is pretty damn sweet for shooters.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's called Hunter's Gold.
Hunters HD.
Hunters HD.
Hunters
Gold.
HD. Okay.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I've checked those out. Definitely. I like them.
Brian's awesome.
They would
He
be
made
good
such a good
for
observation.
hunting also.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
started out at. Yep.
And his name's Brian, that we said?
Yep. He
Brian Conn.
as Lance said, he looks like the villain from The Fifth Element. I think that's a really good observation.
Like the white haired dude?
Yes.
Why are you gonna throw me under the bus like that, Clay?
I told him every time I told someone to go to his booth, I'm like, tell him he looks like the bad guy from The Fifth Element. So I think like 20 people ended up saying that to him.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
He's got to dress up like that guy next KB.
Yeah, maybe.
Right? So let's talk about
Yep.
that. Let's talk about because this is one of like the premier things that people really get into. It's the cosplay,
Yeah.
uh,
Holy shit.
of the event. So let me bring it
So
back
you can
up.
see we had the African Lord of War, we had Solid Snake, we had Rasputin, we had
Is this
I don't know what
Rasputin?
that's Rasputin,
Yeah,
and then above him we had the border guard guy. Okay, the border guard guy with the RPG shot the entire match like that with the RPG, and he was required to carry other things on stages. He came dressed up that way Friday. He left dressed up that way Sunday night. He never changed.
Oh my gosh.
He never broke character either.
Never.
He
not
never
once.
broke character.
How does he shoot with that on his shoulder? Holy
just did.
cow. He just did
Made
it.
it happen.
So I tried to just have a conversation with him, and he just did the whole border guard thing the whole time.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Did anybody know him?
All I know is his name's Jerry, and other than that, he's pretty mysterious.
Is that his first year
Yeah.
to come?
Oh no,
Oh,
he was at
okay.
Kalash Bash last year. I know for a fact, and I think he was at KB last year.
Gotcha. So let's go through some of these. And do you guys have a contest on the costumes?
Oh yeah.
And
So
Who
what I
won?
do is I just
There's
basically walk
John.
around when I see a costume that looks awesome. I'll stop them. I'll take a picture of them, and I'll get their badge number. So when the awards ceremony pops up, we'll call like 4 of the best costumes up, and we literally make the crowd decide with cheers. And whoever gets the loudest crowd pop,
the applause meter.
yeah, we ended up giving the winner
Nice.
Zastava. No, it was a 6.5 Grendel AK with a chest rig, so
Oh
a custom
my
Lee Armory
gosh.
6.5 Grendel AK, and it was Jerry that won because of that friggin' RPG.
Oh, this guy won the border guard.
Jerry, without a question, the crowd was
They went
totally on his
nuts.
side. He had to beat Solid Snake. I thought Solid Snake was going to win, but Jerry won.
Yeah, he was good too.
I mean, there's some legit costumes that people dress up in. Did anybody wear the hazmat suit again this year, or did they learn their lesson?
Oh, scroll down. I've got a good one for you.
Okay.
Out with a helicopter head, though.
There was a guy that dressed up like a sky. He had clouds all over his body. On the top of his head, he had a helicopter, and then he glued bombs
Oh,
going all the way down his body.
and he didn't win. Oh my
He
god.
didn't win. I called him up. He didn't win.
Is he in this slew of pictures here?
Yeah, he's in there. You just keep going.
Okay.
There were
These
some
photos-
strong.
There's
Yeah.
the
There's Jerry with his prize. There's his plaque that he won, and that's his 6.5 AK that he won. We have these plaques that we make for some of the special prizes. And as you can see, still in character,
LARP.
like it's just another day on the border, just won a friggin' gun.
You just
Yeah,
Give me gun.
Super legit prizes are awarded in a variety of fashions across not only order of finish, for the top 3 in the competition, but of that,
So what do we have? So we had, like Mike
There he
said,
is right there.
yeah,
LARPer award,
47,
47,
74, 50th percentile,
last place.
place.
Do you guys remember
and
what we
then-
gave last place this year? She won like 3 prizes.
Yeah, Draco.
You popped that Draco on top of her and she about pooped her pants.
She got a plaque, so she got an award for so last place. You have to actually finish all 8 stages, not be DQ'd,
Yep.
not get a 0. She
Right,
came, so
right.
she did the whole thing, but came in last. Unfortunately, she got 1,000 rounds of ammo. She got a 9mm AK, and she got a Davrinoff custom-made leather chest rig.
oh
And
my gosh.
red in the face, smile ear to ear, and it was a lady that won all that. Well, she lost, but she lost to win all that, and she did great, man.
So I had we did the AK corner, and one of our guests talked about that Dabranov chest rig. He was talking about those. He had one. He was holding it up. I'd never heard of them before, but they look pretty legit.
Interesting story with Davranov. He makes them in Brooklyn. He works in the fashion industry, so he has access to really expensive leathers. And because he's in that industry, he has to keep it a secret that he's into gun stuff. Otherwise, a lot like people in Los Angeles, you'll be excommunicado if you're in the fashion industry and you're into guns.
Yeah.
So he's been making these things in secret. He finally quit the fashion industry and just went into business for himself, making these things.
Good for him. He needs to just tell them to F off, and you don't like what I do, don't buy my stuff.
When there's a lot of ladies, people don't know this. We have a huge female base. Not that we assume gender, but we have a huge female base that comes out to KB.
Yeah, so that's something that I want to do. I want to do an episode with just lady AK shooters. So maybe you can hook me up with some of these ladies, and we can arrange having them on one of the AK corners.
Very nice.
Very nice. Did you want to talk about your title sponsor issue or no?
I mean, we could talk about it.
I'm curious. I don't know what the hell happened. That was just seemed like just completely out of left field.
That's exactly how we felt about it.
Thing is that no one missed them at all.
Yeah.
Okay, there are so many sponsors at Kalash Bash.
So basically what Mike is trying to say is it doesn't matter. Every vendor that did show up has been so awesome to work with. They've done exactly what they said they were going to do, as we would do for any vendor or attendee. When we say we're going to do something, we do it. Unfortunately, some vendors, I don't know. It's not a community thing anymore for them. And it just becomes, I don't want to say too much. Let's just say they lost sight of the community this year. And it's very unfortunate that it happened that way.
Well, it's very unfortunate that they committed and then they pulled out. That I understand how that can leave you in a rough spot sometimes, especially with an event like this.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much going on there anyway. But what prize, we're talking about the prizes here, and they just sound remarkable. Did you guys tally up the prize table, what it came to?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
77,000 in prizes.
That's nice.
Without certain vendors not being there.
Right, yeah. That's awesome.
That's great. Yeah, and then the thing is everything is cataloged and given away in such a variety of fashion that it spreads it out. It's best as you could possibly spread it out.
You got to reward a performance. So
Correct.
1 through 3, I got all the competitors.
Yep.
And then it's like, dude, the Spirit Award, he got a wrestling belt.
Yeah.
Klay made a wrestling belt that was awesome. And this guy is sporting it. He's like so proud. And it's going to be an ongoing thing. Isn't it ongoing, Klay?
I mean, the belts aren't that expensive. We can make one every year. What I'd hate to make him relinquish it next year if he drops the title, but I think we should make a new one every year. They're so cool, and we have a new logo every year.
Yeah,
but it was cool. It was so cool. It was.
We called everybody out this year that won a gun, and we said that you have to shoot that gun next year. And so obviously it's going to be difficult for us to check up on it. There are a few people in particular I'm going to check up on next year to make sure that they're actually shooting that new gun at the event. In particular, those like in the last place position and the 50th place position.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That they got
50th.
Do you guys remember what 50% won?
I think it was a Galil. Yeah, I got to check. I got the list of everybody. So
Josh Fralick wins his division, right? He wins another 545 Galil, which I'm sure he has many, right? So Josh gave us 2 tickets to his F5 class where he teaches people how to run AKs in competition.
Oh, cool.
It's like a $600 value. He had 2 of them. So whoever came in dead middle, 50% finish overall, got a free ticket to that class. It's all ammo, guns, everything provided. And then Josh redonated his Galil back, and we did a random drawing for it as soon as that guy won his ticket.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, and I think it's at our shop. We're supposed to upgrade it for that guy at the class.
Yeah,
Back-
we gotta look
Oh,
into it.
nice.
Back to your belt. I think you should get Shoot Steel to make a belt, like a AR-500 steel belt.
Ooh, like the centerpiece could be like in the shape of like a silhouette target. That'd be awesome.
Or something.
Yeah, this crowd, people may be shooting at each other in dicks, though, so you gotta watch out.
But it makes use of your prize. You could go take it out and shoot at your belt.
That's right. That's actually pretty good. Cool.
I'm full of all kinds of ideas. You'll see. So we talked about the cosplay. We talked about a little bit about the competition. Who won the competition? Who was the overall winners of the? Because you have different divisions and things like that.
I shooting 7.62 by 39 with iron
Yeah,
sights.
would you
Oh,
believe
Kyle Litzy.
Iron was the overall winner?
Oh,
Dude, he is a
Litzy
freak of
was.
nature. This dude dominates on iron sights.
Yeah.
Rock and lock with iron
But-
sights.
He's a legit AK lover though. Also, he's not a.
He's been on the show.
I shoot other shit, and then now I picked up an AK. He legitimately is an AK guy, dude. You know, it's good. His name's Kyle Litzy. He's from out California.
Yeah, he's been on the show a couple of times. I've had him on the show.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. He's designing his own products for the firearms industry now. So
Yeah. Be looking out for some Galeals coming out with the Unrivaled Technology muzzle devices on them, which is Kyle and Zach Smith's company, another AK dude.
But I think that's always been his dream because he's always wanted to run iron sights on an AK, and then the Galil came out Gen 2, and it just it was a very good setup to start with.
Yeah.
Trigger modifications. He made his own iron sights to put them on there. Fiber optic with an adjustable, almost like an A2.
We set the gun up for him, but the Gen 2, as you know, doesn't have iron sights, so we sent it out to Kyle without any sight system on it. So he added his own new muzzle device, and then also his own iron sights, and so he's been shooting that for a little over a year now. He shot it at the last KB, I believe, also.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, he's killing it with that.
But Josh Froelich won the light optics division, and then the heavy optics. Who's the one in the heavy optics?
Justin Morris,
which is a local guy. He does quite well.
Now, what's the heavy optics? What is that?
7.62 by 39 with the.
Yeah, we really try to simplify the divisions, and because it's really hard when you're dealing with such a wide variety of firearms that some come with bipods, like an old school Galil already, which would make you an open division shooter, and this and that. So what we do is we say you can run your rifle in any configuration you want, and if it has a 30 cal bore or larger of some sort, you are in heavy. And if it has a 5.45 bore to a 2.23 bore, basically you are in light. And then if you have optics or irons, so that's it. So if you want to run shooting bags, bipods, you want to use a tripod, you want to use a sling. But we did limit all divisions to 30 round magazines this year, which we're waiting for the survey to find out if that was a hit or not.
I heard it was a lot of the competitive shooters. I heard they liked it because it forced the weapon manipulation.
Yeah, they had to do mag changes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time you don't have to, and if you can run a 40 or a base pad extension or a 50 round mag, then why even reload? Even the drums, the Magpool drums.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Magpool was a supporter, and there were P mags, there were 30 round mags all over the place, and people were doing well with them.
Yeah, so PSA was sponsor and was at KB competing this year. Chad Wiley was there. I think he took second in heavy or in light optics, or second or third in light optics, running their new Magwell system on their.
Yeah, that's right. He was actually iron sight division. I shot his gun at their booth.
That's right. He was running iron, so he.
Then we had the PCC division. Marco Cavalhug won that. Shooting
a KR90 lead.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Marco pulled it with one of
God,
these.
that's beautiful.
Yeah. So I mean, it was awesome. It had a home for every kind of division, or a division for every type of shooter and caliber, and we even had a con block division.
What about super heavy next year?
We're talking
at
about
that.
adding a heavy division
Look at
We
that.
gotta have a big like 308 division with like one hit on paper. We
Yeah.
gotta.
Yeah, one hit on paper. I swear it'll be faster. One hit on paper, it will be faster.
So 54R 308, it's going to be it's a super heavy or a G-man division.
Maybe slugs.
Slugs.
All
If you-
slug.
If you got the coin, then slugs in a shotgun would be pretty damn sweet too.
Oh, look at
All
that.
slug.
So talk about what you're holding up there, Mike.
This is my favorite gun. This is an 8-inch shotgun. It's built off of Vepper, imported firearm. But basically, there's everything. This gun folds. It's got internal chokes.
So we took a normal 16, well, it's an 18-inch Vepper barrel, 19. We chopped it back to 8-inch. We shortened the gas system. This is a custom gas system. The gas tube is, an inch and a quarter, inch and a half long.
This is threaded and fully choked. So this gun will totally knock down steel, and you can shoot slugs out to 100 yards or further easily.
Yep.
Holy cow.
So
It's
called the SOB8, short optimized barrel.
It'll shoot upside down with your pinky, too.
That's what Joe Biden was talking about when he said buy a shotgun. That's exactly what.
That's
he
right. Step outside and shoot two shots in the air. Two shots in the air.
Two blasts in the air. Yeah.
Two blasts. Keep the rest in the mag.
That would break his shoulders.
So, yeah. So, I mean, but that, we were talking about it. We're going to send the survey out. We're going to listen to the feedback of the customers and the competitors and, and build an event around what they want. And so.
Well, it sounds like you're way ahead of the curve. Anyway, so Pearce was there. So he went last year and he went this year. So Pearce, give us your perspective last year to this year. Your experience.
Both years, it was an amazing event. I had a great time. My cheeks hurt from smiling too much. This year, what was awesome was the just the crazy variety of machine guns that you could shoot at the who was it? You said John
Houghton, M13.
Pulaski. They're called Gun NATO.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he brought out. They had 20, 25 different machine guns you can shoot, from a 1919 to an RPD to there was a Sten, I think, some Uzis, cranks.
They had a DP. Is it called a DP28, DP25 with a pancake mag?
Well, they had. Yeah, but they had all their little special names for it. I couldn't keep track of which was which when I was looking at their list, but that was pretty awesome. It was great. Everybody there is just there to have a great time. Everybody's super friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Clay, you kept saying something about the culture, and I think Kalash Bash brings out the best culture of the gun community, but of the AK-centric gun community.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. It's nice hearing someone that's not us say that, because you paid money to be there. So you saying that makes me feel really good that we're doing something right.
Now, I know
you definitely are.
I know you take your big spool when you go, Pearce, because you're looking to buy stuff. What'd you score this year?
A couple things from JMac. I know I got a pistol grip and a forward grip. I didn't really buy a ton of stuff this year. I spent a decent amount of money shooting the various machine guns that you could pay to shoot. I know last year I went home and immediately ordered a Sandman S from Dead Air after hanging out with Mike Pappas for a while. Those guys are just awesome, but definitely have some things in the acquisition category after visiting with a lot of the vendors.
Put some things on your radar. I know you were looking for some bake lights. Did you score any bake lights?
No, they didn't have them this year. I scored 2 last year. Here's one of them. Scored 2 of them last year, and I ran over as soon as I got there to where I thought the booth would be, and nobody seemed to have them this year.
Do you remember what you paid for a bake light last year?
$55.
Can you believe how much they've gone up?
Oh my god! I looked at
in a year.
The 40 rounders today, $180, $220.
Yep. Wow!
Insane. The cheapest I found, just a bake light, was $99 today, and I'm not even sure it was in stock.
The cheapest I've seen 30s And this is if you like know the guy, or you got like pictures of him doing stuff he shouldn't have been doing. Or it's like $80. That's about as cheap as you can get on a Bakelite.
Yeah.
But
And
got
Wraith
it- you got
Defense
in one of
haven't
those,
had them
good.
in a while.
Yeah, even Wraith.
Somebody-
I'm surprised Wraith didn't have any. He's usually got a lot of cool surplus.
Right. Actually, I went back by the booth after I bought the two of them initially last year and tried to get some more, but they had sold out. And apparently somebody got in trouble for selling them too cheaply. Is what they told me. They said that they had actually mismarked them and sold them under what they wanted to.
Wow.
Well, I have a question for you since you were there.
Sure.
You did buy some stuff, right? Did you actually use real money to buy things?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Backstory.
Mostly. I think. Yeah, I think I just use cash.
Are you
Okay,
talking about
'cause
like
not-
credit cards or something, or what are you talking about?
No, well, no, not everyone pays with real cash. Some people try to, be sneaky with fake money.
Someone
If you
who's
wanted
dressed
to
up
stick
as a
out at
certain
Kalash
government
Bash, what
agent.
would you wear?
if you wanted to stick out at Kalash Bash, what would you wear?
An ATF meme uniform.
Oh, yeah, hey, that's a good idea. I think you would stick out.
And then if you wanted to stick out even more, would you use counterfeit cash for a machine gun shoot? Oh, man.
Do that and also weirdly follow people around and kind of stare at people.
Yeah.
So are you saying there was one of these on site? All
This all actually happened.
right, tell the
okay?
story.
You can't make this stuff up.
Tell the story.
Okay, we all know the meme, right? It's the ATF guy peeking behind a bush. He's got like the yellow vest on and the blue hat that says ATF, standalone mustache.
Yeah.
So a guy was LARPing. He dressed up exactly like meme ATF guy. He was, I guess, to play into the character, he's like taking pictures of people behind bushes and stuff, acting really weird, but he was committed to the LARP. Got to give it to him.
Is he in this list of cosplay
No.
photos?
He got arrested before we actually took all the pictures, so he won't be in all the photos.
Do you say he got
I
arrested?
have pictures of him getting arrested that somebody sent me.
Yes. Yeah. Long story short, the guy dressed like ATF agent goes to try to shoot a bunch of regulated machine guns and then pays with counterfeit $50 bills.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That is amazing. And he thought he was going to get away with it, huh?
So the best part is a bunch of the ROs were on their lunch break. This is Sunday. And one of the ROs goes, dude, I'm eating my sandwich, and I look over and this cop has fake ATF guy with his hands in the air and he's patting him down. So they all started taking pictures. So meme ATF guy now is on a real meme. So we have fake ATF guy getting arrested by a real cop. And the caption is, nobody like my fake monies.
I saw that. I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. That's funny.
That's what happened.
Where did I see that? Do you have that, Pierce?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Can I add it to the chat here?
Yeah, you can send a
Of
link.
course he has it.
It's super.
I have to see this.
So
Yeah.
the range has pictures of him getting arrested framed, and they're hanging it like in their office. It's so good.
Oh, that's
Already
great.
have to text them to you because it's not working for me to put it in the chat.
Just share your screen. Do a share screen.
I have no idea how to do that.
Okay. All right. So, vendors, prizes, kind of talked about the setup. Is there anything that we're missing to talk about on this? The event?
Well, we
Food.
so
We
we
got to
try
talk
to-
food.
Yeah, food,
we
campsite.
did have really good food. Bougie
I am
Barbecue
kind
kind
of
of stole the
obsessed
show
with-
with food this year.
Bougie
The
barbecue.
Al Pastor tacos were amazing.
The taco truck was good too.
Yeah, there was lots of food on site. Some of the vendors set back up over by the campsite at night, and then I know at least the taco one hung out at the awards, which was
She killed it.
yeah. I mean, the food vendors did well, but the food was much appreciated. So I'm glad that they were there, and I'm glad that they did well.
Yeah, that barbecue joint. Who was that? Who was that? Clay Bougie Barbecue.
Bougie Barbecue. I actually worked with the guy. He this is
Yeah.
the first huge event he's ever worked, and
Yeah.
he did a great job. He fed the staff. He fed the ROs every day. He did
We
really
bought
good.
And he made stickers specific for the event.
He made specific AK themed bougie barbecue stickers. Dude went all out. Like, he seized the opportunity and did really well.
It's awesome.
So I'm looking at these pictures that of the ATF guy.
Good too.
Oh yeah. Snow cone vendor.
So he was seriously trying to pass off counterfeit money. He wasn't
yeah.
just, that wasn't part of his shtick. He was.
What's so great is he could have tried to buy anything. He could have went and bought a snow cone with fake money. The fact that he was trying to rent machine guns dressed like an ATF agent with fake money was
It's
perfect.
so ironic. Yeah, it's perfect.
It's perfect.
Oh, I'm gonna email this to myself so I
It
can.
was great that meme came out so fast.
So the memes are blowing up as the event is still going on. So we're seeing the fake monies guy just popping up all over Instagram. It was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
There, it'll pop up here in just a second. I'll share it for a video audience. But yeah, I saw that somebody posted that somewhere. I don't know where it was, but I saw it, and I didn't know what the hell it meant because, like you were saying, my fake
It was
money
on
no
the
good
KD
here.
Instagram, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on one of our stories. We actually didn't make a picture that stuck around, but it was on a story.
Maybe it was a story.
And you know, we were thinking, I was like, man, I felt bad. I wanted to give this guy the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, hey, maybe he had a fake 50 and didn't know about it. I'm like, I started to feel bad for the guy. Well, then they opened up his fanny pack and it was full of fake money. I'm like, you know what? Dude probably paid for other stuff and we just didn't catch him in time.
Yeah, that's how you got in. All right, here's the picture. I've got it. That mustache is perfect.
Oh man,
I love it. But he looks like Borat.
yeah.
Yes.
Nobody liked my fake monies.
Looks like Borat. That was-
We have tried to find out what this guy's name is. We've zoomed in on his badge on every picture. You just can't see it with very good definition, so we don't know what his badge number was. We don't know what his name was.
That's fine.
yeah, that's hard. It's hard to see.
It's like the internet's trying to find him. We're trying to find out who he is. I want to have him on my live stream and have him like give us his side of the story, but we just can't find him.
Call the police
Do you
station.
think his the police might have a picture of his badge if they took it when they arrested him?
Maybe. I could probably call Matt Shockey. He could probably figure out who the guy is.
I bet they took down his name at least. Minimum.
Yeah, Pierce. There's your client.
Not barred in Texas.
Oh, too bad. Too bad. So sad. So I was asking you guys earlier, are you familiar with Hug Your AK Day? And I think you said that you're not familiar with that. But it's something that Paul Markle at Student of the Gun started. How many years ago did he start that? I don't know, several years ago. But October the 18th is the official Hug Your AK Day. And by the time you guys are listening to this episode, it will have already passed, but you can still do it. And you just take a picture of you hugging your AK, tell you a little love story or something on your post, whatever you want to do. Tag Student of the Gun and hashtag Hug Your AK or Hug Your AK Day. Just something fun to do to push and promote and get the love of AKs, keep it going, kind of deal.
Is Brian pushing it this year?
I'm sure he is. I haven't looked to see, but he gave away something last year. He was doing some giveaways for people that took part. We're trying to make it a big thing, so we'll get you guys involved with it too. So, you get your big souped up Dissident Arms arsenal there and hug your AK tomorrow and take pictures. And
Yeah, I
I
can do
can
that.
dig it. That's all right.
Yeah. Very good.
but
There was there's a company called Attero Arms that was actually at Kalash Bash. They make optic mounts for AKs. Speaking of hugging your AKs, he made an Instagram post before he drove across the country to be at Kalash Bash. You just see his perspective, and he's saying, "Listen, guys, I'm gonna be gone for a week. I'm gonna miss all of you. Daddy's gonna be home soon. Don't worry about it. I love you all." And he leans in and he's hugging all of his guns and he's kissing all of his AKs. He's like, "Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love you guys," and he's nuzzling them. And then he walks to his door and his baby and his wife. He's like, all right, I'll see you in 5 days, and like dips.
Just gives him a
Perfect.
deuces out.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Dissident Arms. What's new and exciting? What do you guys have going on over at Dissident Arms?
Well, as you know, you are talking about the price of Bakelite magazines, and a lot of that has to do with the Ukraine war and the, constriction of Russian imports and so forth. And so,
Tell me you're going to send
as-
shotguns to Ukraine.
I think they got
longer
They
distance
got
fire.
plenty of stuff there, but one of the things that we've been having to deal with, kind of the fallout from, of course, we know that Sega's and Kalashnikov concern imports were choked off, with Obama, and then the Vepr platform was choked off during Trump. But now with Ukraine, the current Ukraine war, some of the parts that we would get from Russia are just impossible to get. So for us, we have to be able to finish firearms. And so some of the stuff that we're actually manufacturing now here in the United States is stuff that we used to actually get internationally. And so our platforms are not your traditional style AK. They're modern AKs that are, most of our stuff is oriented towards competition, although we do quite a few other things. But Lan's showing you right here our Vepr Magwell flare and our Vepr magazine release, which is also compatible with the KS12 as long as it has a magwell. So these two parts here that you see in aluminum and steel unfinished are things that we're having to manufacture here in the United States because they're impossible to get internationally. And so so these are two new products for us right here, which are things that we've had in the past, but they've been imported versions, is where these are redesigned, made in the USA, made in Texas, versions of what we used to get internationally. This right here is our KR90 Elite. Everybody's been wanting extensions, good extensions that are lightweight, but still will drop free. They don't weigh anything. But this right here, +10 guys.
Wow.
And they do quite well. We're going to work on something bigger, but right now this is the one that makes sense for competition. And this will be a new product coming soon. Just to jump over real quickly over to one last platform, not quite an AK, but still IWI based gun. This is the Jericho Elite.
Yeah.
So everything Jericho has been done. And this is a new product here. Grip panels, Pangfo safeties, new hammers, new fire control groups, brass solid guide rods,
Optic
cuts,
heavy hammer for solid ignition.
correct, and then the panel cuts on the slide here, and then also brass Dissident Arms base pads.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
Carry optics legal gun for USPSA, and we also have some lighter versions. So this is all brass, nice and heavy, and this is the aluminum version right here, same gun.
This is all for the Jericho.
That's correct for the
Jericho
Jericho.
941, it's the F9, so it's full size 9.
Right.
There are some modifications you can do for the carry size at 3.8. We haven't released those quite yet. We just started to put these out. These grip panels are in brass and aluminum, like Mike said. They're coming in thin. This is unloaded, obviously. I'm not going to point a loaded gun at myself, but they come in thick and thin panels.
Nice.
So or mixed depending on what your hands like.
So we're kind of, we're known as a 3-gun competition company, based company. Obviously, we started with the shotgun. We moved over to rifles, PCCs, and pistols now. And so we just kind of want to be all encompassing, become more of a brand, and kind of, sell our brand and our vision.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That is, I mean, I like the Jericho to begin with, and now you guys have taken it to the next level. I love that. Now, do you are there any pistol stages or anything at Kalash Bash?
No, we've been asked about that. I think we have a pretty good mix of weapon manipulations and keeping it at a 1-gun match right now.
Yeah.
We may introduce maybe like a stage gun or something like that. So the truth is that the Kalash Bash has to be have the competitor that shot their first competition and also seasoned competitors happy with the same course of fire in the same match. Unfortunately, the introduction of pistols is just a more advanced skill. The safety needed to maintain, or the amount of attention needed to maintain safety with pistols is just at another level. So we don't see us expanding it into a direct 2-gun competition
or 3-gun.
But I do see those that sponsors, those sponsors that have Kalash-based firearms. If there's some crossover potentially, like last year at the AK Shoot House, we allowed, but we had Century Arms, it's the AP5, their MP5 clone thing going on. We had that, and then it shot flawlessly in the 3-gun shoot. So we used it as the pistol, so to speak, the pistol caliber in a side shoot. But
but you know, to what you're saying, basically, we can understand that, and so adding that kind of dynamic to something different and something smaller, like we have a local match, or doing even like an area match where it's 1 or 2 gun, at a 3-gun event, that makes sense. But we kind of want to keep Kalash Bash its own flavor and its own thing, and I think we have a good formula right now.
Yeah. Do you know anybody that's doing like a Com Block AK 3-gun?
Well, we're going to add it as a division to our match, and so shooting an AK, I mean, you're going to be encouraged to do so, and then if there's a classification or division for you to do it, I think that will bring more people to the match itself. And so, I mean, we see it as viable, and if you're shooting at the 300 yards, I mean, shit, an AK doesn't put you behind anybody.
Well, no, and with the Galil, you know, throwing the Galil in the mix and things like that, definitely get some distance there.
Hey, Lead Heads, Dwight Settle with Seal One. Just here to talk to you and tell you a little bit about our product. Seal One CLP Plus is a bio-based, non-toxic product. It comes in a paste, liquid, aerosol, and pre-saturated bore-specific patches called sealskins. They all do the same thing, just different methods of application. The best way to use our product is to start with a clean firearm. There's 2 reasons why I say that. First, you start with the Seal One CLP Plus by field stripping your firearm and covering the entire firearm inside and out, bore, barrel, everything with the Seal One CLP Plus. You'll see how easy it spreads around. You'll want to wait about 15 to 20 minutes. Then you come back and you want to wipe it all off. So you see how easy it is to put on and remove. And the second reason we say to use a clean firearm is you'll find that it's not clean. We're going to pull out more carbon that's been left behind with whatever product you've been using before. Okay, it takes about 3 cleanings, so I like to say a clean shoot, clean shoot, clean shoot, just normal usage before the Seal One CLP Plus has removed whatever product that you were using before and has seasoned the firearm. It's kind of like breaking in a cast iron skillet. And after that first cleaning, you will notice a difference. And with each successive cleaning, you will find that it gets easier and easier to clean. Seal One CLP Plus is a dry lubricant and is designed to work as such. You will find that malfunctions are virtually eliminated when used properly, because the majority of all malfunctions are caused to carbon buildup. And with the Seal One CLP Plus, the carbon does not build up. Seal One CLP Plus is safe on all metals, plastics, composites, polymers, rubber, wood, and leather. Seal One CLP Plus is a one-and-done formulation. No other products are required or needed to clean and lubricate and protect your firearm. That's why we say Seal One and done. Seal One is a proud sponsor of the Talking Lead podcast and the Lead Head Brigade. Use the code LEADHEAD for a 25% off discount.
Very good. Clay, you got anything to add to that?
No, Dissident's killing it, man. I can't wait for them to start this monthly match. They used to do a monthly match a while ago. Unfortunately, I started getting in on them at the tail end. Now that they're going to start ramping up those matches again, I'm super excited. I try to shoot at the very least 1 match a month outside of doing YouTube and my day job and everything else. I barely find time for that. Knowing that these dudes are going to do one right over here near Houston, easy. It helps me produce content, because usually when I'm doing any sort of review, whether it's an AK variant or whatever, I like taking that gun to a match. I shoot a different gun at a match every single month. That's why I don't get good. That's why I don't win anymore, because I change it every single month. So I'm excited for them to do that. As far as anything I'm doing in the future,
Yeah. What do
I'm
you got coming
excited
up on the
to-
YouTube channel? What's something that you're excited to review coming up?
Well, I've maintained one video a week for the past year, so I upload every Saturday morning. That takes up a huge chunk of my time. I'm excited to keep that going. The YouTube channel right now is growing faster than it's ever grown. I remember maybe 6 months ago, in a month, I might get 500 subscribers. Right now, we're growing at almost 5,000 a month. It's just really starting to take off.
That's great.
And I have all of you guys and Mike and Lan and all these people that come to KB to help. All of that helps trickle into that. And the YouTube channel helps also when we go to promote these big matches, because it reaches a lot of eyeballs. So it's a huge asset that I enjoy working on, because it does help put on these matches. It just raises awareness. Got Red October coming up next weekend. I'll be shooting that.
I was going to ask
Sons
about
of Liberty
that.
coming out.
Yeah.
I'll be shooting Sons of Liberty with Mike and Lan on their squad. So maybe they might learn something. So I'm glad that they got the squad with me.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
What is Sons of
No,
Liberty?
Totally not. That is so Sons of Liberty, they make ARs in San Antonio. Mike Wachowski.
Sure.
His organization puts on a big carbine match that happens at the same location as Kalash Bash every November. And it's just a really fun 8-stage match, happens over 2 days. And you can bring just about any carbine you want. So it's why it's a little kind of cool. I think I'm going to try to squeeze a G36 in, since that gun really doesn't fit in anywhere else. It'd be a fun place to do it.
That would be cool. What's it called again?
Sons of Liberty.
I'm going to write that down.
Sons of Liberty
Yeah,
Gun Works.
Carving series, but it's Sons of Liberty carving. So
Okay. Now, are you guys,
They've kind of exploded over the last few years.
Yeah, man.
Mike and Lan, are you guys going to Red October?
we're not traveling out there this year. The last couple of years, and in particular the last few months, have been pretty intense with us moving into a new facility with Dissident Arms, a new home base. Also, we just haven't been able to pay enough attention to our own shooting, I guess you would say. And so for us, we're finishing our home range, finishing basically the Dissident Arms range, where we'll be able to do a ton of content, and then getting back into practicing, training, both with AKs and our 3-gun kits. But we want to try to squeeze in a few more matches before the end of the year. Just Red October is just a little too soon, with Kalash Bash just over with, and
Is that this weekend?
Yeah, it's
It's this weekend, right?
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hop on a plane Wednesday morning.
Yeah, I was going to say, you only got a couple of days. You better get your shit together.
Oh, I'm not shooting for score. Kind of like there's not a lot of matches out there that will actually let you shoot a machine gun. We do allow that at KB if we deem you able. Like if you're not just going to come out there and shoot your PP off. But Red October also allows machine guns for people that can't handle them. So because I'm usually pretty burnt out after Kalash Bash, I think we're all pretty exhausted afterwards. Because Red October happens 2 weeks after. Last year I tried something new. I just flew out there with a full auto RPK and just hosed all weekend long. Didn't try to shoot for score, and you talk about a good vacation after Kalash Bash. That's exactly what it was. So
just a good
this year,
release.
I'm literally flying over there to borrow machine guns, shoot the match, give them the machine guns back, and hop back on a plane. So it'll be an even easier vacation.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. You don't have to clean shit. You just shoot somebody else's machine gun and say,
Right. Let's do some listener questions here, and we may have answered a lot of these through our talking already. Flood Munitions, I had him on the last AK corner. Does anyone compete with a non-AK platform? And I think we answered. I was like, no. Yeah, not at Kalash Bash. Just gotta have
unless it's a comm block weapon, like SKS, VZ58, PPSH. We have a comm block division that's kind of like a catch-all, but you're only competing against other comm block guns.
Valmets.
Valmets are AK enough.
Yeah, Valmut's an AK. Where we kind of draw the line, so to speak, is just because it takes 7.62 by 39, or just because it takes an AK magazine, does not make it a Kalash base firearm. And even the Swiss guns, you know, the 5.52 and 5.3, we love them. We have a 5.53R with the Russian caliber. It's not an AK, guys. I mean, it's just not. So we love those guns. You know, maybe there'll be a shooting opportunity where they'll be perfect for you in the near future. But right now, Kalash Bash is Kalash-based firearms. And, you know, if I can take a fire control group out of this gun, and this gun, and this gun, and this gun, essentially all these guns right here on the table, I'll take the AK fire control group. And so there are obviously our nuances, but that's kind of where we have to draw the line.
Sure.
And that, but so no.
Oh yeah, you got to keep it pure. You got to keep it pure.
Yeah, so stop trying to game it, you Mark 47 mutant shooters. Got that question 100 times.
All right, next question. This is from Texas Kalashnikov LLC. So I got a great comment from some of the women competition shooters that if you check the block as a lady shooter, how about a lady prize? Question mark, question mark, question mark. And if not, they are just as happy to be rolled in with all the other shooters.
Well, shit, we could have given them one of the purses off of stage 3.
Yeah.
I know.
We had a stage for the ladies this year where you had to carry a purse.
The
but
ladies.
we should. I think we have enough prizes. We definitely should dedicate a prize to a high lady shooter.
Yeah. And we recognized high lady last year, and I'm not sure why it wasn't part of the.
It was an oversight on our part. We'll make it right next year.
Our minimum there'll be recognition, and I'm sure a prize can be sorted out.
Yeah, Mama Kalash this year.
We did have a Mama Kalash, and Hannah did not shoot the match, but we definitely had basically like a female version of our spirit animal. Even though a female could win spirit animal, we had like a female version of that.
Yeah.
Of just like which chick comes out here and just oozes the Kalash
just
community.
a dedicated female prize is like one of our ladies is going to win this.
She was pregnant also, so the whole Mama Kalash thing was not planned.
It just worked out. That's awesome.
Sort of worked out that way. So yeah.
Oh, who's going to be born at Kalash Bash?
Oh man, we had a proposal there already. We have now a pregnant Mama Kalash. So yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
How do we know no one's been conceived at Kalash Bash yet? We don't know. We do have a campsite.
Gotta do the math.
So people getting busy out there, right? Raider214 asks, what were some of the unexpected cool and not so cool things that you've come across in executing an event of this magnitude?
I could write a freaking book on fires that we have put out.
People,
ATF guy's a good one.
What's one of like the things that just you didn't even think about until it hit you? It was just completely unexpected.
Don't fly helicopters close to long-range target trees. That's a big one.
That's a good tip.
Don't climb over the berm to save time.
Don't climb on top of a berm to take a picture on a live firing range. Even though you're a vendor, don't strafe the range with your helicopter because you think it looks cool. Don't drink beer while you're walking up to a machine gun line and then have to be at my DJ booth later that night. Don't dress like a fake ATF guy and pay with fake money.
Yep.
Don't throw your wallet away, vendors. Don't throw your wallet in the trash and then have to go dumpster diving in front of all the attendees by the food trucks. I could go on. I honestly could.
I love that.
To honor your commitment.
Yeah. That's it.
Let's see. Doc Dow. Go ahead.
From the attendees' perspective, it didn't look like there really had to be very many fires put out. Y'all kept it under wraps really well.
Oh, that's just because we try to. What's a good word for that, Mike and Lan? We don't show the panic sometimes, but every now and again it does get a little hectic.
Keep that game face on.
You got to keep the game face on.
Game face. There you go.
But but it was tight this year. This was the tightest year we've ever had as far as staying organized. We tried to stay on top of it like very well this year.
We're really deep on staff. this year. And I know Klay and Tony on the general admission side, they did the same, but we try to really make sure that we,
Cast the right people to the right jobs. And really,
we took care of our range officers, and that we had at least 2 on every stage. And the shoot house had 4 range officers, actually employees at Dissident Arms. Yeah. And it was really, we hired a range master and a match director. I mean, we attend a ton of events, and we see whenever you're short staffed how the event can suffer. So or if like somebody's like, oh, last minute, they're like, I can't show. Well, 1 or 2 people not showing when you need 22 people can really throw a bunch.
Yeah, it can. Yeah.
So that was really helpful this year.
Yeah, I mean, we just built off of the experience that we've had for the past 3 events. I mean, Klay and Tony over there, they tightened up and they buttoned up a lot of their side, and we didn't have to worry about their side, and I hope they didn't feel like they had to worry about our side. So, I mean, like I said, when you task the right people to the right thing, and you trust them to do a good job, it's pretty easy to run,
Yeah. Everybody does
our
their
teams
job.
are hard to build, and we got a good one. We've been building this team for 4 years, and it is super tight butthole these days.
Pucker factor. Okay. Bailey Mute, Muller 80, Esom 87. Basically, they're asking what was the coolest or your favorite gun that you saw while at Kalash Bash. And then Esom specifically, did anybody see the Foxtrot Mike Products FM-47? What did you think of it?
Yeah, I shot it.
The RPG was pretty sweet, and yes,
What's your thoughts on the FM-47, Klay?
It's super cool, and then you hear what the price is, and it seems a lot cooler. I like NATO AKs. I like AKs chambered in 5.56, 223. So I know he's planning on making these things eventually in 7.62 to take AK mags, but he brought out a 5.56 variant, the first one, and it's pretty cool. Kept it DI, which was an interesting move, and it was just neat. And then he said these things are going to be like, what, $700, $800, which is crazy.
I think he said he's coming out with the 7.62 first because he doesn't have a great source for the 5.56 mags.
Okay.
Some kind of pro mag.
Yeah, he had a pro mag.
Yeah.
Folding stocks, so it doesn't need a buffer tube. It's shot super soft, and it's rock and lock. I don't really know what it goes after or what they're in competition with. I just think it's a cool gun alone, just a pure cool looking gun, and it's super affordable.
Am I seeing any pictures of it here? I'm on his Instagrams.
Scroll back up towards the top.
Yeah,
that looks like him.
Onto the price table, so that's going.
This one
out to somebody.
Yeah, that's Brandon shooting one there.
All right, so for our video audience, I've got it pulled up here. Yeah, this is it. Prototype, Mike 47. I got the sound turned off.
So if I remember correctly, non-reciprocating charging handle, rock and lock. You still have a mag latch, just like an AK. He had a prototype there where you could actually kind of like give the charging handle an HK slap, but that was like a custom thing they did.
Uh-huh.
It's a really cool amalgamation of several different schools of thought on just guns. But it was rad. It was super cool. I wouldn't necessarily be interested in a 5.56 model, but when he does make a 7.62 by 3.9, I'm definitely getting one for the price.
Yeah. And you said what was he saying the price?
Like $700.
No way.
Yeah.
That's gonna go up. There's no way he's gonna sell them for that. Because he could get double that all day long.
He was pretty adamant that he wanted it to be in that price range.
Yeah, I mean, they're already doing PCCs and, the mag style guns in that same setup.
Yeah. So, listeners, you can go to Foxtrot Mike Products on the grams, and there's a video there, so you can go see what we're talking about there. So
Really nice guys and really passionate about their stuff too.
and
Yeah,
where are they
Paul was
out
super
of?
cool. He gave a great speech on his demo.
Where are they out of? Anybody know?
You know,
Made in the
don't-
U.S.
I don't know.
I don't remember. I feel like I should know that. I just don't.
Arizona, maybe. Yeah.
All right,
Arizona or
last question here, then we'll wrap this up. I know you guys probably hungry. Where'd it go? What was the oddest or funniest moment from the event, Doc Dow? Was there anything new and innovative unveiled? And that we just talked about one of them, I guess, the Foxtrot mic guys. The ATF
Mac
thing was
unveiled a
funny.
The ATF thing was hilarious. That's probably the one thing everyone talks about. J-Mac had a new rail that was pretty cool. I think the FM products was probably that and the PSA Spiker were the two guns I heard a lot of people talking about that they wanted to go shoot. And I know a lot of people really enjoyed getting to demo the AGM thermals at night on airsoft guns because that's something we've never really done. So a lot of people got to check out thermal for the first time. Not innovative, but it was a really cool first time thing.
And then a huge drop actually from IWI that hasn't quite not available yet, but it's coming extremely soon.
Next couple of weeks.
Yeah. But what it is those of you that have not gotten up Gen 1, this is another opportunity and potentially one of the last opportunities to get a Gen 1. So 13-inch 5.56 rock and lock Gen 1 coming soon.
13-inch is probably the
One was given away at Kalash Bash with a history question from Jeremy Gresham to one of the audience actually during the awards, and so that prize was given away to a direct person in attendance at the awards for answering the correct calibers, the three correct calibers that the Galil was originally offered in, and so that right there is going to be a huge drop coming soon. Of course, we'll have some available. There's going to be some emails going out, or actually, if you complete the survey, you're going to have access to special codes and pricing related to Galil and IWI product, but in particular, this Gen 1 13-inch 5.56 rock and lock. These do have last round vault hold open. They are new production IWI magazines. Those are also available. And one was given away at the event. So again,
there's about 499 available.
and the
13-inch barrel is pretty badass. And these probably favorite one.
Right. Yeah. And to me, the 13-inch is the perfect size. You get the full length gas system. It's a softer shooting gun. You get a longer barrel, a little better ballistics, in particular in the 5.56, and then gotta love the rock and lock, the Galil name.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
Hold open, maintained with this new magazine, this new follower that's in the magazine. And then again, potentially your last chance to get a Gen 1. These will have the iron sights on them. They are compatible with the RS Regulate handguards and 10-inch, and I believe it's 5-inch handguard. Get on it, guys. This is maybe the last chance you get.
Did he throw a
It's
price
the one
out?
to have, in my opinion.
You're correct, sir.
Did he throw a price out by chance?
MSRP on these, there's going to be a limited number of vendors on these. So this is I believe $16.99 on the pistols is MSRP. The mags are about $29. But these are new production, no dents. You don't have to rebuild the mags like we used to. You don't have to weld the followers up to make the last round but hold open work like we used to. In our conversions, you actually, this magazine will operate the last round but hold open system. They have a mag catch tower on the gun themselves, so they can take the K&S Precision Plastic Delete. Or if you want to go all the way, we can actually remove the mag catch tower and do a riveted trigger guard on there to get rid of all plastic, all aluminum, and go all steel. So,
Very
and
nice.
then again, compatible with the RS Regulate handguard and 10-inch.
It's going
It's gonna be nice. Yeah,
Really.
it's gonna be worth the money.
Yeah, and it's good that we get another stab at Gen 1, guys, because these import projects are months, if not, a year or two in the making. So these things the wheels turn much further in in
Right.
advance, and I'm just glad that they're coming in now.
Said there's only gonna be
And
500.
also, yes, there could potentially be more, but right now let's leave the number at 500, and then
Right.
the 13.2 inch lends itself to potential pinning for rifles. So as we know, the ATF may move on pistol braces. Who knows what's exactly going to happen regarding that? But a 13-inch gun, 13.2, gives you the ability to get to a rifle length, so you can get rid of that pistol brace and get a legit stock on that gun. So
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but since it came in as a pistol, it is 100% factory original from import, correct?
yeah, bingo. Yeah, 100% factory original. They do come in as
Because it's a
pistols.
pistol.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
You don't have the
What's that?
compliance. It's a pistol, so you don't have to follow the compliance.
Right.
Import
Yeah,
compliance.
you can take the brace off of it. It's if they attack the brace, so you can take the brace off. But if you want to go back again, who knows what's going to happen with them regarding that? But for us, the 13.2 is
It's
this.
the side.
And we're already doing rifle length guns in 13.2 that are performing quite well with Kyle Litzy's muzzle device over at Unrivaled Technologies that gets you over to 16 barely, but it does get you there if it's pinned. There are a few other muzzle devices out there. We're working on something to get 13.2 inch guns, over that 16, so that you can get a legitimate stock on there. If you have to make that decision, depending on what's done with the brace,
Right. That's all up in the air. All right, last question here. It says, any plans of having a really cool podcast that covers AKs at Kalash Bash? Oh, wait. That was... Just kidding. Just
Where
kidding.
we at?
What was that? What is it? Phew.
It would be cool though. Tony and I we were talking about having, if there was a place we could do it, there are spots at the range that get decent access to the Wi-Fi, but I would recommend a hotspot because you've got like 100 people on the Wi-Fi. But we thought, wouldn't it be cool to like ESPN style where you have like the table and behind you, the event's going on.
Yep.
So you could actually do your live thing, and the whole time there's people walking around doing their thing. Have
Have people walk up, do interviews
beers.
with people, ask them how it's
Yeah.
going, get some of the vendors over there, get them a little more exposure and a little more.
Could definitely be done. In fact, each
know a
day
guy.
we have 1 hour-long cold session for lunch. That'd be a great time to do it.
Yeah,
Go live for an hour.
yeah. I know a guy.
All right.
There you go.
I know a guy. He's got
There you go.
one's called the AK Corner or something like that. I don't know.
We could call the booth the AK Corner. Tell people to go by.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. I'm down with that. I'm all for it. Well, all right, guys. Is there anything that we missed? We should talk about the event, about any of the sponsors, anything? We cover it all.
I think I would like to give a thank you to all the vendors that came out. People like Jeremy Gresham that are so community driven, that give way more than they're supposed to. All the vendors that showed up, interacted with these people, made all these people feel special, gave everyone a little bit of their time. I greatly appreciate that. And all the people that paid money to come out to the event, we owe you guys everything. So each and every one of you, just thank you for trusting us and coming out and having a good time.
Mike, Lan.
I basically ditto exactly what Klay said there. Without the patronization of the actual attendees, those that attend the competition, and then giving the sponsors and vendors actual play, bringing dollars in your pocket. We'll hopefully have some ATM machines next year. That way you can get some more machine gun shoots in. That way you can get some more sponsored product purchased. We see a ton of 3-gun events that just suffer from bringing actual return on investment. Everybody wants to know about ROI or just interaction, like number of people.
Well, they're just trying to push through like cattle, numbers through a gate, numbers through a stage. And so we wanted to make a more inclusive event. And then so, just to show a little bit more appreciation to the vendors, I think.
Yeah, and then thank you those that competed, that those that sell out the competition in such a short amount of time, those that attended the AK shoot house. Lan and I's passion is competition. We want to be proficient with our firearms at a very high level. We feel like a lot of individuals don't get that opportunity at their local ranges. They don't have access to land, or
Targetry.
they are not shooting in a way that in my opinion is meaningful. So in a competition setting, this gives them a chance to actually shoot at targets, not at dirt, and gives them a chance to actually do things with their firearms that they've never done before. And so for us, that was a big part of why we're involved, and we thank you for being part of the Kalash competition and the AK shoot house. So.
Yeah, so basically we've dedicated our life to shooting and made our livelihood out of shooting, and so we're grateful that we were able to come together with 2 other guys, come up with a cool idea or something that we thought was cool, and then have people come out and kind of validate that and enjoy the experience. And so, from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate y'all in general. And it's awesome that y'all find that what we're doing is cool, and you come and support it. So, thank you very much.
Well, it is definitely cool, and on behalf of the people that attend, like myself, I really appreciate you guys putting the effort into it and the dedication. It's a ton of commitment on your part, and I'm sure it's something that you guys have to plan and prepare for year, in advance, 2 years in advance. And with that being said, do you have the dates all set for that yet?
Stay tuned. Let's just say stay tuned. Would you guys agree?
It's coming. So not yet. Okay. And that's fair. That's fair. I mean, you guys just got done with this one, so it makes perfect sense.
We don't want to follow anyone else's playbook on how to do events. So we've got some really interesting things we want to do with our schedule and other events. Our team is as strong as it has ever been. So I think now we should let those creative juices flow and see what happens. 2023 is going to be a very interesting year for our team. So just stay tuned.
Well, I would like to volunteer myself if you have room on your team for another creative juices flowing kind of guy.
We need some.
You can come to me.
If you got the juice, bring the juice.
I got juice, baby. I got all kinds of juice. I'm not short on juice. Pearce, you want to say anything before we sign off here?
Yeah. Well, I've been going the last 2 years. It's a absolutely incredible event, and I will be back.
There you go. That says it all right there. I will be back.
Thanks, Ben.
So big thanks to you guys for being on. Dissident Arms, give your social medias where people can go and check you out. If you got YouTube, throw that out there.
Everything's Dissident Arms.
Yeah.
At YouTube. Yeah. At Dissident Arms. Dissident Arms on YouTube, and we're not very creative in that regard. It's just our name.
Hey, it makes it easy. Keep it simple, right? Clay, throw yours out there again.
It's Clayco 420 on all it's Clayco 47 on all platforms, spelled with a K, KLAYCO 47, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook.
There you go. And P-Man, you want to give yours? You want people to come holler at you?
P-Man 301 on Instagram if anybody wants to
There it is. And Lead Heads, make sure you go and support those that make this show possible each and every week. Mission First Tactical, go to missionfirsttactical.com, use the code LEADHEAD, you're going to get 20% off. Seal 1, you go to seal1.com, use the code LEADHEAD, 25% off. Get our classic Talking Lead logo tees and Leadhead Brigade, 1776 United. Use the code Talking Lead, you're going to get 20% off there. Factory 47 for our AK corner logoed shirts, t-shirts, hoodies, hats, all that good stuff. Factory 47, it's FAKTORY 47. Use the code LEADHEAD, you're going to get big fat 10% off there. Our buddies over at Flatline Fiber Co., you want an awesome sling For any of your rifles, use the code LEADHEAD. You're going to get 10% off at Flatline Fiber Co. Pete Pye over at Defiant Munitions. You want some awesome ammo for your AK, for your AR, for your pistols. He makes the finest defensive rounds on the market. Go to defiantmunitions.com. All caps on the lead head. 10% off there. And then Keltec, you go to Keltec Weapons. Anything with their firearms, you go to the pro shop, use the code LEADHEAD, get 15% off there. And then, of course, IWI, Jeremy Gresham. We don't have a discount code set up with them yet. But we're going to work on that, get that set up. And then Century Arms, Adam and the gang over there, we really appreciate them being the main sponsors for our Talking Lead AK Corner, bringing that to you once a month. So go show them the love. Hit them up on their socials and let them know how much you appreciate them making this show possible. Mike, Lan, I really appreciate you taking the time to be on. It was a great episode. You really rubbed it in, made me regret not making it. Klay, same to you, man. I really appreciate you coming on. This is it's starting to be a habit with us. What's up?
You got to stop meeting like this.
So,
Yeah, appreciate it.
until the next episode, Leadheads, as always, keep your loved ones close.
Keep your SLPA closer.
Yeah. And hug your AK every day.
Keep your dual club VZ61 Scorpions close.
I like it.
Keep your firearms closer.
And hug your AK and post those
Right.
pictures. Perfect, guys.
There you go.
Great episode.